What's up, Night Brothers audience? Y'all good tonight? Because I know I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
Is everybody good?
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so why are you acting surprised? You know Lenny is too busy out walking 5 miles again. That brother gonna walk till he got holes in his shoes. Anyway, I figured I will take over. Nah, I'm just joking. Lenny will be with you soon. So relax and get ready for another exciting KBS show. What's up, Night Brothers audience? Y'all good tonight? Because I know I'm good. Is everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so why are you acting surprised? You know Lenny is too busy out walking 5 miles again. That brother gonna walk till he got holes in his shoes.
You better stop.
Anyway, I figured I will take over.
You ain't trying to
Nah,
take
I'm
over
just
for
joking.
me.
Lenny will
Trying
be
to
with
take
you
over
soon.
for me. I mean, dang.
So relax and get ready for another exciting.
Come on.
AI
man.
trying to take over the world.
Hey,
Yes,
try to take
sir.
over my show.
Yeah, Lenny, bring me in.
AI trying to take over the spot, trying to take over my role. That ain't fair. That ain't fair. That ain't right, Q.
It ain't
Yeah, man.
Huh?
AI is the man now. We talking about Allen Iverson or AI? Or
No, I'm talking about artificial intelligence. Man, that
We
man.
talking about practice or we talking about artificial intelligence?
I'm talking about Mr.
We're talking
Pretty.
AI. We're talking.
AI? What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing tonight, man?
Golden peace and love.
Miss
We
Dupree.
doing,
Miss Dupree.
Hey,
Yes,
Mr. Bree, how you
yeah.
doing?
Blessed to be
Angela,
here.
what's going on, darling? Darling, DC in the house.
Where our number one stunner at? Where our number one stunner? There she go.
in the building.
Yeah, I thought I seen her on here.
Love.
Number
How you
one
doing?
stunner.
Mimi, Nick, how are you, Mimi? I saw
Peace and
Mimi on
love.
Instagram.
What's up, me?
Cheryl the Queen is up in this
Oh,
building.
we in the building.
Yeah, I ain't telling you.
Building. How you doing, Queen?
Big up, big up, big up.
That girl, Nessa. Nessa's here. How you doing, Vanessa?
But
Hey,
that's
y'all,
not.
can y'all do us a favor? Look, we on YouTube now, and the engagement on YouTube is a little different. So we're gonna have to learn this rhythm together, family. It's gonna have to be a dance. You know what I mean? You do your part, I do mine. Cause you can only like one time on YouTube. When you first get on, you can like. You know what I mean? Now, but let me tell you one thing. If you look down in the chat, there should be some buttons down there where you can hit all kinds of emojis and all that type of stuff. And you can comment as many times as you want. So we need more comments, more engagement. Is that all right, family? That's all right, fellas?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Make it happen.
We need that.
Okay, cool. Like Mimi Lee is doing.
Mimi. There she go. Mimi. What's up, baby?
else?
What's up?
Who else we got out there? DC always on time, boy, I tell you.
Got the big welcome back to you, brother. Thank you, Mimi, for welcoming Kenny back. Definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We
Thank
get
you.
more content. DC got a story for us, y'all. DC got something to tell us. We get more content.
Margaret Nick said, I guess she responded to the AI when he says everybody good. She said, yeah, everybody's good. My girl Nessa, you use the bomb.com. Thank you for
What's
some
up,
information.
Nessa?
Uh-huh.
No, I appreciate you.
And I love this comment right here. Welcome back.
Sing to him, Mimi.
Thank you,
Sing
Mimi.
to him. Sing to Kenny.
Thank you, Mimi.
Yeah. AI ticking, face red, droopy eyes, hand pink waving, over there. That was funny. That was funny, Cheryl. That was. Oh man, yep, that was. Yeah, hand pink waving. You right. I had on jewelry.
Yeah, I like all these new emojis. I like that.
You got the emojis popping, y'all see what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Let me
Okay.
good. Let us know y'all out there.
Good to see you too, Margaret.
Who we got up in the building? We got our good brother, y'all. Our good brother.
checked in tonight. What's up, legends in the past? Mr. Armand Wallace, what's going on, little brother?
Wallace,
Come on, big bro.
good, cuz
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah, we
indeed.
love you more, Mimi Lee.
We had
Yeah.
a good time on the Armand show last week, guys. We had a real great time on Legends of the Past. Check out tomorrow night. There's
I
another
love
great
y'all
guest.
little emojis. I love this.
Yeah, I like the emojis.
Yeah, y'all keep that up. I love these little emojis y'all throwing up
Yeah,
there.
that's
Hey, man, we got another one just popped in. Miss Pamela Smith just dropped in.
Pamela
Peace,
Smith.
man, to you too.
Peace
How
and
you
love.
doing?
Yes, indeed. So look,
Happy Mother's Day to all of those mothers coming up for the next week. Definitely
No
want to put that out there to y'all.
no doubt, Arden. Good,
Bro,
good look
be
out.
up to it. I hope the mamas in the building.
The mamas and not the papas. Papas gotta wait a little bit.
The next month, man. You know what I mean?
I don't think I'm messed up.
Look.
Mama's Day.
Brothers, we're gonna go into we're gonna step through a door we never stepped through before tonight on the show. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna go boldly where we've never gone before on the show. Family, is that okay? You're dropping one in the chat group if y'all okay with us going boldly where we've never been before. Drop a one in the chat group for me.
One's
Drop
up
a one.
if it's okay.
Yep. My girl up in the building tonight. Is my girl in the building tonight? Shout out to Midlife Simba. Look, Midlife Simba coming off of an operation that God be to the glory.
Give
Did I
thanks
say
and
that
praise.
right? God be to the glory. That was kind of good.
God,
Glory
be
be
the
to God.
God,
Lord.
glory to God. Let me get this. I'll tell her I don't go to church.
What?
Anyway, Midlife Simba had an operation that was highly successful. Want to give God the glory.
Yes,
Y'all
indeed.
could drop a one in the chat group for that too. And that happens to be my sister-in-law, Kenya.
Love you.
No doubt.
Little sis in the building.
All right, drop them ones. Keep them ones coming. So Kenny, tonight's your night, brother. Welcome back. Y'all welcome Kenny back too.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Betty.
y'all.
Y'all-
Pleasure. First of all, it's a pleasure and a blessing to be here.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much. Cheryl, that was one of the most relaxing podcasts we had in a long time because we didn't have to be in control. We could just sit back and be guests. On Armand's Legends of the Past show. That was so much fun last week.
Oh, well. Excuse me.
I'm
Thank
sorry
you.
I missed that one. I was incapacitated.
That's all right, brother. But thank
Be
you,
happy
Armand.
you're here.
Look, got a lot to cover.
Welcome, Brown. How you doing, Miss Brown? Welcome to the show. Don't want to
Yeah,
leave you.
thank you, Kyra.
Can't leave you out,
So
Kyra.
much.
Yep. Legends. Oh, by the way, Legends got a nice show coming up tomorrow too, man.
Yeah, I know. I just said that. You wasn't listening. I just said he got a great show coming up tomorrow night.
Oh, okay, cool. Armand, you're doing your thing, brother. Love you.
Definitely.
Definitely keep them shout outs coming for Kenny. Look, we're gonna dive all into Kenny's experience, and
Get into
in so doing, it caused us to go into an area that we've never been in before because we want to explore it, and we really, to make this show great, it's gonna rely on y'all tonight because we're gonna just be presenting information and throwing out ideas and philosophies. But we don't know it until y'all start to interact. So audience, if that's good with y'all, just drop something in there. Drop a Y or yes or something of it. Because we're going to need y'all interaction tonight.
If you've had experience, tell us about your experience too. You can type that in.
Yeah.
We want your feedback on it.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. And it's a highly thought-provoking show tonight. And but we teasing, but really it's gonna be some. We're gonna drop some more nuggets tonight too. So,
Yep.
all right,
Brother, go.
I love y'all level of engagement. It's really helpful, and that's how we can have to rock because you can't like as much, but you can throw those funny emojis in there. We love them.
That's it.
Get creative. Let's see what y'all can come up with tonight. All right, Q,
Thank
here
you,
we go,
Mr.
baby.
Turner.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Let's do this. Natural, you ready, Nat?
Let's rock and roll, so.
Kenny, you ready, brother?
Let's go.
Let's do this.
Peace and love. Welcome to the Night Brothers Show. And we appreciate your presence. You know what it is. This is where healthy is the new sexy. We're going to keep it moving and stay sexy. You know what sexy is? Living is sexy, baby. And we're going to keep it live and in living color.
No doubt.
So, you know what we do here? Just join the chat, type in your questions, comments, your concerns. Your input is everything. Just like me, lead. You know what I'm saying? Follow a leader right here. This is a great leader right here. You know, so keep it popping, keep your engagement coming. We want to thank all those that helped the show. We've had people throw in some production stuff, so 777 Production. We appreciate, you know, your input, your beats, behind the scenes stuff. Greg Harris, Mimi Lee, Cheryl Queen, Pam Williams, Armand Wallace, and many others that Cash App donated to us. You know, we definitely appreciate it. You can come any kind of way. You know, you can see Q, Lenny, and just give them some money. Be like, here, throw something at the pop. You know what I mean? For the show.
Stupid boy.
Boy, you crazy as hell.
Don't go downtown and take your girl out. Just for the show. You know, you gotta let them know. Earmark it for the show. But if you don't want to chase them down, you can hit Kitty
Y'all
does
already done that. So it's crazy.
113.
You simple as can be.
But if you do see them, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know, I know the kind that's hard, it hurts a little bit, but they'll take it. They prefer the kind that folds. I can tell you that. I understand. But peace and love. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your love, showing up for us.
Q,
We love y'all for real.
oh man, it's funny as heck because I can tell we on YouTube because we got some.
You got good sense at least 1 week, please.
Hey man, shoot, it's gonna be 1 week, but I'm gonna tell you what, you're gonna have to wait to see what week that is. So if you're new to the Night Brothers Show, please hit the like and hit that bell so you can see when we jump on again. We're gonna keep it moving. I'm on a 000 flat, so I ran through my time, and that's my last line. Love y'all.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. It's tasty beverage time, bro. I don't know about y'all, but I'm thirsty.
You got some juice over there?
If you're thirsty and ready for a drink, say, oh yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the first drink on tap tonight is, as we said earlier, we're going to tap into an area we've never explored before. And we're going to venture to the area of the unexplained world. The unexplained world of NDE. And that stands for near-death experience. And it's a topic that has so many layers to it. I might even talk about something that I experienced. It wasn't me directly, but it was somebody very dear to me. And then following that, as we tap into NDE overall, we're going to really drill down. And we're going to talk to one of our own, Brother Kenny Adams. He's going to give the testimony and share with you the frightening experience that he just recently went through, and the true blessing to be here to tell about it. So, back to you, Lenny. We're going to dive into this thing. And once again, Oli, we want your participation.
All right, look, as promised, NDE. What the heck does NDE mean? I didn't know about this until some years ago, but now I dabbled in looking at some of this, and it was just like I couldn't wrap my head around it at first. But
mind-blowing.
the more I explored it, man, the more intriguing and interesting as heck it is. And for anybody that's 50 or older, somebody told me that if you're 50 or older, you are on the, what did they say? You have more, this is the way they said it, you have more life behind you than you do ahead of you.
Absolutely.
That's what somebody said to me. Now, you know, that's talk, God, you could live to be 150, who knows? But just saying, And when you think about that, you know, I don't know if you guys have, as you got a little older, you start to be curious about your own demise, and not that you know, wanted to come any sooner or not, but it's just the thought that does run to your mind, and particularly as you start to lose parents, when you start to lose folks that are, you know, classmates and things that's similar in age and things of that nature. It's something to think about. Like, what happens? What happens, and where does it? What really goes on? Shout out to one of the most beautiful people that I know right here, Radiant.
Hey! Oh, she gonna be a big part of this story later on.
Yeah, I had to break my high voice out for that one. Radiant. But you start to think about and ponder some things that you don't think about on the regular, and it really kind of makes you go tap into some realms of your cognitive domain that you might not normally think about, and it really taps into not only your mental aspect, also your soul and your spiritual aspect. And it's like, you know, we live so much in the flesh, you know, but how often do we really kind of just slow the flesh down and dive into the physical and the spiritual part of life? So we want to look at that tonight, no doubt. So anyway, without further ado, we're gonna show this video, right? Okay. Yeah. Y'all help me out now, audience. Midlife Citizen said it's called near-death experience. So y'all help me out like she is, and like Mimi Lee said, yep, near-death experience. You know, talk to me now, because I'm gonna need some talking tonight, y'all. I'm gonna need some get back and flow. Drake or Kendrick, man, you two, we attracting some viewers we don't normally attract, and they just, I think they might be on the wrong show, but it's cool, long as you subscribe. You could be on the wrong show. Just subscribe. It's all right. Egg roll. I don't know who you is, but you know what I mean. Give me some shrimp fried rice with that, and we might be friends. Anyway, we got sidebar.
Exactly, man.
I know who that is.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
Yes, the thoughts do cross my mind, and it appreciates each and every day opportunity and encounter. Amen. We're gonna talk about that, Cheryl, and I want to hear your side. Particularly, I really want to hear Q from folks that may be coming from the more spiritual or religious perspective of this subject. But without further delay, let's check this video out. We're gonna talk on the other side.
My life profoundly changed when I had a near-death experience in 2015. It's very hard to put into words explaining a place and happenings of things that are not on this earth and of this earth. I can promise you that there is much more than what we see in front of us with our mortal eyes. Many of us could see so much more if we only took the time to try. One thing you must know that I have to say: cars, money, prestige, gadgets, ego, and most of what humans end up focusing on are not why we are here. Somewhere inside of you, you know this to be the truth.
Once I did leave my body and I looked down, there was a lot of things that I came to understand. Like, he's dead, his body's dead, the mind is dead, the ego's dead. And after that kind of series of kind of realizations, it was like, well, then what's left? Like, what am I? You know, and the words flooded in very clearly. It was audible. These words were light, energy, soul, spirit, awareness. But it felt like it was me explaining this to myself. Everything was energy. Everything felt like love. And in that process, I was clear. Like I was, what's that? What's that? What's that? It was like a baby having everything was an moment. And I moved from one thing to the next with that childlike wonder and amazement.
I'm actually talking from a real, actual process of dying in the hospital of Rush.
When I was going to get a colonoscopy, I went back into my wheelchair and noiselessly and painlessly left my physical body. And we flew together like in an airplane at great speed, faster than the speed of light, and went into this wonderful and highly knowledgeable and loving region. My body was full of a light color, almost gold. Everything has music in that world, including yourself, where you feel like you can become one with everything. My beloved teacher took me beyond that world, a world that I cannot use word to describe. And all I can say is all love, and more love.
I dialed 911 and headed outside onto the porch. I died there. My bowels flushed, releasing my soul from my body. The light came from inside me like a beacon, and I floated through it. I felt an all-consuming love like I've never felt on earth. I saw and felt like I knew the elongated figure waiting for me at the end of the lighted tunnel. It felt like I was returning home. I looked back at my body on the porch and did not want to return to it. At the same time, I was distressed at leaving the earth because I knew I had not completed my assignment. I woke 8 hours later, connected to a ventilator. The EMS personnel arrived, resuscitated, and intubated me on my front porch. Then I was taken to the hospital in the ICU. I don't remember a conversation with the entity, although I know I had one. I came back with a gift, but I don't understand what it is.
I was held at gunpoint inside of my home, and they abducted me. I was handcuffed to a bed and wearing a mask, so I saw no light for 14 days. I was tortured, I was beaten, I was starved. It was horrific. I was literally awaiting my death, right? I really had no option but to place the future of my kids in God's hands and say, okay, I know you love them more than I do. Just please take care of them. And I just kind of gave up. I remember drifting off into a sleep. Literally in the blink of an eye, I was above myself. And I was so confused. Huh? Okay, how can I be here? And how can that be me? So I went down to take a closer look. When I saw that it was me, I saw the mask, the handcuffs, the room that I was held in. But the odd thing was, there was absolutely no pain. In fact, I felt better than I had ever felt in my entire life. I felt light, I was free. From the side of my eye, I saw a light, a white light. It started to grow larger and larger. And as it grew larger, out of that light stepped Jesus.
All right, brothers. If I ain't enough to make you stop and think, say, okay, I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna have to really pay attention to tonight's show because they on some other shiznick tonight. And but we going there. So Q, we're gonna start with you. And look, this might be interrupted by some of the comments as they come in because we want to tackle your thoughts as we unfold and open up the pages of this journey called NDE tonight. No doubt. We're gonna bring it on. But Q, start with you. Can you explain what is known as NDE and some common characteristics associated with this phenomenon?
Okay. First of all, I just want to say that NDE stands for near-death experiences, as we said previously. And it's earmarked by a lot of different experiences, and not everybody's experience is the same. I want to say that. So there's no dry experience for each person that goes to this. But some of the things that are associated with it in the past have been associated by people who reportedly had those. It's a sense of awareness of being dead, basically about how you died. It's a sense of peace and well-being, that you have this sudden sense of peace about you. It's a sense of being out of body. Some people explain to have an out-of-body experience. In other words, they're like the body, they float above themselves and they can look down on their body as where their body may be at that time. Often people report of being in a tunnel, or it could be of darkness or of light. And it could be a mystical light. They can also review their past life experiences. They might go back to all their lives, how things are going on in all their lives. They're often given a choice of whether they want to stay where they are or they want to return to their lives. And these are just some of the characteristics of NDE. Not all, but just some of them. that are associated with the phenomenon.
Very interesting, brother. I'm gonna come your way, and Midnight Simmer, we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to what you said. She's a very interesting comment. I'm gonna come back to that.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
But the question for you: why and how can near-death experience change a person's life? And sometimes their total outlook on how they, after this experience, look at life in general. Can you help us with some of your thoughts about that?
I mean, just reality is, it's the most, it's the biggest wake-up call in the world is not waking up. You know what I'm saying? Really. For real. I mean, you kind of just expect, how many people go to sleep feeling like it's my last night? But to really have a situation where you might not have lived is an experience that, kind of changes people. Sometimes what's important, how much time. It was a story about an author. He got a prognosis that he had 6 months to live and he didn't have anything to pass down to his family. So he ended up writing like an incredible amount of books in that time period, thinking that he didn't have time. He ended up living years later, but he said he would never have written to the degree that he dove into his writings like he did without that prognosis. So it definitely pushes you to do sometimes great things. Sometimes it pushes you to shut down. It just depends on what you have and what's going on.
Right. No doubt. Okay. Thank you, Vanessa, for that message you sent in the background. I am turning the music down a little bit because she want to hear what the heck the fella's talking about tonight.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you, Nessa, for typing that out and sending that. But you're right, man. I like the last point you said. Kind of like, charges you. The last statement you said, like, you ever seen I'm sure you have, the Christmas Story where the guy, I guess he was kind of acting like a screw, and so he kind of said, "I wish I could never be here," and he threw himself off the bridge or something. And he supposedly had died. It's a Christmas. Come on, every year, you know what I mean? And then he wanted to get back to his life. George was his name, right, Q? In that movie? Yeah. And when he finally did come back, he was so overjoyed with everything. But I'm not gonna digress. I'm not gonna go too far into that. I did want to tackle another comment though. Art, while you got the microphone, won't you? I was training as a trainer at Fort Meade, and I had an asthma attack and was out for 3 to 5 minutes. My trainer commented that he thought he had lost me. It was God's grace that I am here.
Yes,
that comes from Armand, an experience that he had. Armand, while you there, if you can come back with a comment to let us know, while you were out, did you go anywhere? Did you experience something otherworldly or out of body or spiritual in nature? Very intrigued to what your comments might be about that. Another quick one. Art, why don't you take that one?
I was in the company of my cousin, and as I was reading the hospice book that they gave us, she was going through all of it. And as I was in her presence, and then she...
Oh, my bad. Went on to be with
the Lord. Went on with the Lord and her Savior. Wow. Yes, indeed. You know, the thing is that, it's about how it affects you. They say if you have a heart attack and you survive it, or a stroke and you survive it, it usually scares the life into you. So you kind of change some things you were doing. And those people usually live on a little longer because of that situation. It scares you to kind of change up. There's definitely a message in the music, so to speak.
No doubt. Kenny, from your perspective, do you believe that these experiences prove that there is a conscience after physical death? Because, there's a much debate about that. The Bible has a story. I'm not saying the Bible story wrong. Don't start throwing eggs at your computer and say that damn Lenny. There you go again. Don't do that. We just talking tonight. So just conversate. But you believe that NDEs prove that there's there's continuation after physical death. And is that continuation of existence beyond our current understanding? What say you, brother, with the nice hat on?
At this, thank you. I knew you was gonna slide that in, but at this point in time, I do believe there's a lot of truth to that. There is a lot of truth to that, and as I get into my story on what happened to me, and Arden and E have both touched on some very poignant points already. Like they're leading me right to where what happened. But yes, I do believe it now more than ever. I do believe that there is our consciousness after physical death. I'm not saying, I don't know how long it goes on. I don't know if it's eternity or not. I can't speak on that intelligently, but I do believe that our consciousness does continue after a certain point in our death.
Wow, okay. Thank you,
It's
brother.
beyond our current understanding, because a lot of people are probably listening right now like, what are they talking about? But it is beyond our current understanding. As I get more into it, you'll understand.
Well,
Dirty planet.
If I want to take a second, if we can, man, if we have enough time, I just want to share something that I experienced. It wasn't actually me, but I was there to witness it. When I lost somebody near and dear to me, during the actual experience, she told me that she had to ask me to call 911, and she told me that she was dying. She said, "I'm dying." And I've never shared this publicly with you. I've shared it with a few of you guys, but never publicly. And she said, "I'm dying." And it was like she knew what was happening. She was transitioning, she was leaving. And I didn't want to accept it. And I said, "No, you're not." She said, "Yes, I'm dying." So my question is, do we really know that we're transitioning to the other side? That's just a subject of conversation as well as we tackle this subject. And unfortunately, she was correct. She was right.
I remember that conversation.
Wow.
I
Q, we're gonna stay with that line of thought. We're gonna touch on that line of thought because we going some different places. But for right now, I want to segue over to our brother right here.
Yes, sir.
Kenny wasn't on the show last week because something happened, and it wasn't our place to say what happened. It wasn't none of our place. wasn't it's personal. And Kenny, if you want for a minute before we dive into the questions, you can just tell the people briefly what happened, and then we're gonna ask you the questions, but you're really gonna explore and dig deep into.
Lenny, that's part of my question.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead then, Q. Won't you just go ahead and dive in there? Take it, brother.
Dive into it, brother. Hit me with it.
All right, Kenny. If you would just tell us about your recent medical condition and what was the first sign that something was not quite right with you on that day. I knew you kind of had a feeling that something wasn't right with you physically. And if you could just dive into that a little bit as we move on.
Thursday before last, I woke up. I remember my wife kissing me on the way out the door, and I didn't really feel anything then. I don't know if it was a precursor or what. And I got up about, 20 minutes later, and I take a position and I sit on the side of the bed, and I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong? I've never felt this way before in my life. I mean, my body is tense. I really can't move. I have this feeling, this sensation that if I move, I'm going to fall out. Wow. So I'm sitting there, and I reach my phone, and I'm shaking. And I reach my phone, and I type in 911. And then I'm like, my dumb ass. I'm like, I'm going to sleep it off. Nah. I hit 911 again, and I called. And I told them, what was going on, my location. And I gave them my wife's phone number. I told them to call my wife. Now, keep in mind, she had just left. The top lock, the bottom lock are both locks. Nobody has a key. The rental office doesn't have the key to the top lock. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there. Now I'm starting to really feel bad. This is really getting out of control. And I hear the people at the door, the police at the door. I hear they're banging on my bedroom window, like, buddy, hold on, we're coming. And I'm like, I'm slipping away. And they come in, the police come in first, the paramedics come in, and they ask me what's going on, and I tell them what I could say. I'm blah, 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 blah. Make a long story short, I was having a stroke.
Wow.
About, 8:30 in the morning. And my wife calls me back. She had just got to New York, to work. That's 45 minutes from here to New York City. And that's the last time I remember talking to her. So they get me up, they get me outside, they get me into the ambulance. Keep in mind that for those that have been in the ambulance, it's a loud, crazy experience. They're flying when it was speed bump. This is where it gets crazy. The hospital is literally 10, 12 minutes from where I live, right? And that's what traffic lights are on. Ambulances don't stop the traffic lights. During this time I'm in this ambulance, I'm having this hour-long experience, it seems like. I feel myself going out. I feel myself slipping away. I still hear all the excitement. I still hear the guy talking about describing my weight and size and all that on the way to the hospital. And then all of a sudden, everything gets quiet. The fear goes away. I hear this voice in my head. The voice sounds like me. So just close your eyes and go to sleep. And that's what he tapped on in his initial comment, like the choice, do you want to fight to survive or just go away? I didn't take it like that at that time. And I closed my eyes for a minute, and I believe I went out. And I caught myself, and I hear him calling my name. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So at this point, I can't talk. My mouth is on the side of my face. So I'm saying, I just started making noises. Whatever noise I could make, as long as I could hear myself, I knew that's just the feeling I had. If I could hear myself making this noise, I knew I was all right. Wow. And it was, man, everything got white and quiet. Everything, all I could see was white. Quiet. I mean, I know they were still talking. They were talking to me. The sirens were still going. I didn't hear any of it.
So, Kenny, did you feel like
it seemed like forever, but it had to be a 10-minute ride or less.
Wow. I'm going to let Arden answer this question first, and I'm going to follow back up with you. But Arden, go ahead.
As this was turning for the worse and you were beginning to see, kind of lose consciousness, what do you remember and what were you trying to do to remain control, to keep that control and just try to stay, or were you even conscious if you were slipping?
I was slipping. I slipped out once in the ambulance. But like I said, when I came back, they brought me back. I said if I could just hear myself. So I started making making whatever noise I could make. As long as I could hear myself, it kept me going.
Right.
So
as long as I can hear myself, yeah, you're right. As long as I can hear myself, I'm here.
So
right.
What you doing there, was that you say, well, I'm halfway gone out of this physical life, but I'm still got some physical life in me. So was the noises you was making an attempt to say I'm still in this realm? Yes. Because that's what was going on. Wow.
Yes, that's what was going on. As long as I could hear myself, I got a chance. Because it felt, when I heard that in my head, I'm like, this is probably right. If I just close my eyes and go to sleep, this will all go away. I'm not saying I wanted to die or anything. Maybe I'll wake up later and it'd be okay. And then when they brought me back, I'm like, Now I didn't see any. I didn't see myself.
No flashback
like that. The silence, the deafening silence that came upon me all of a sudden was unreal. Something I never experienced before in my life. Everything went away. I couldn't hear the ambulance. I couldn't hear the people talking. And after I came back, all I could hear was me making the noises I was making. I'm like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I can't go out like this.
Wow.
And I believe I went back out at the hospital because when I looked up again, my wife was standing right here. I'm like, well, damn, how did she get here that fast? But some time had passed. She had came all the way back from New York City.
So the time, I guess time as we know it was different Because you said you was doing that, and the next thing you know, your wife was there.
Yeah.
Was the time seem like it was a long experience, a short experience? What
Long.
Yeah.
Long experience. Started with the ambulance ride.
Okay.
That was the longest. Because it took us, when I came from the hospital, we got an Uber. It took us 10, 12 minutes because there was some lights. And, you know, and like I said, the ambulances don't stop at lights.
Mm-hmm.
So it had to be 10 minutes or less, but it seemed like an hour. So like it was going on and on and on. And I'm having all these thoughts. And now I'm moaning and groaning. I can hear myself. And I'm like, all these thoughts going to my head. I hear things, my voice in my head talking to myself. And that kept me going.
Wow. Look, I want to ask you this. This experience changed your perception and your viewing on the afterlife? Like, have you since then thought a little bit more about the afterlife and what it could possibly mean, like being in a spiritual realm? Has any of that have you gotten there yet? Or
yeah, I mean, I think about that a lot. And it's something that I think about the afterlife and death. A lot of things. Here's something that people don't know about me. My father died at 53. I was 17 years younger, whatever that is. That's the remnants of the stroke. I can't remember things real quick. But and until I got 53 years old, I was infatuated with death. Like, wow, my father died at 53. That's relatively young. So until I turned 53, I went through that the entire time. And this just solidified, but it wasn't a fear. The fear like went away. When everything got quiet, the fear just went away. It's like he said, just make a decision. And that's where I was at that time, in the back of an ambulance.
Wow.
Going down Route 9 South.
Wow.
That is very intriguing, very interesting, brother. You know what I mean? I'm just glad that you are here. Or what I will share something with you that and I don't know if it was similarities into what you was going through. I mean, but it was just my own version of something that was the closest thing to what you just mentioned. I didn't have a stroke or nothing like that. I had COVID, but and this was when COVID, first was rampant, and unfortunately, a lot of people was passing because of other issues that they had that COVID exacerbated and made them expire. You know what I mean? It brought on heart attacks, brought on things that were pre-existing conditions and really took, Anyway, that's not the meat of the story. The meat of the story is that during that time, I just remember, that's when we were hunkering down for, 2 weeks or something like that, 10 days they recommended, whatever it was. Anyway, one night I'm in a separate bedroom, wife in another bedroom, and I'm dealing with my COVID stuff. And I'm feeling really bad, probably the worst night that I had of the COVID at that point. And all of a sudden, it was like I wasn't here. It was the quietest spot, and it was completely black, like blacker than darkness that you could even imagine. And everything was so eerily quiet to the point like it was almost like somebody shut the computer off, like shut life off and said, "Bloom," and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "What's going on?" You know what I mean? Where am I?
Yeah.
And I was in bed, trying to sleep and everything else. But that, you talking about somebody jumping the ASS butt up out of bed and saying, what's going on? I ran into the room. My wife was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I was like, "What's on? What's going on? What's going on?" Well, I was just like, and I don't know if that's part of what, transitioning or what have you. I'm not saying I did that. I'm just saying that was the closest experience that I had to anything like that. And it was jarring, man. I remember coming back to the office and telling you that story. Remember I told you that story, Arden?
I do.
And it was, when you hear.
Actually, you told me on the phone, you was like, "Man, I thought I died. I almost died last night."
Correct.
Yeah. I was like, "Wow, for real?" It's like,
yeah.
But my wife just put on here on the post, And that's something I'm gonna reiterate: the peace, the peacefulness I felt in the back of that ambulance when everything shut down and got quiet was like nothing I ever experienced. It was like I'm good. You know, it was just peaceful. But then I got to get back to E's point when he said it was like I had to make a choice.
Yeah.
Yes. Choice made. Amazing.
That is.
God is good all the time.
No
You
doubt.
gotta make a choice.
No doubt. And somebody said that too. I think Mimi said, thank you God, nothing but the blood. So Kenny, look, wait, we got more. but wait, there's more. You know what I mean? All right, once you start this round off, go ahead, brother.
What did your doctor say, of your recovery and how rare it is for you to have no significant residual effects from this experience? And how blessed do you feel?
Well, I do have some. I thought I didn't have some residual side effects, but when they run certain tests, yes, I do, and I'm going to need therapy and all that. But in the hospital, a lot of the nurses and the doctors, they kept saying, you're lucky, you're a lucky man, you're a lucky man. I kept telling them, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed.
Amen.
There was no luck involved there. That was a blessing. There was no luck involved, and I feel I'm okay. I probably do a little more than I should, but
Right.
I'm okay. I'll start therapy here either end of this week or the first of next week. But my prognosis is maybe 12 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, Kenny, a stroke, it's not something that's lightly said. Most people that experience a stroke, some of the after effects of it, Q, you know some of them, help us out with some of those, Q, some of the things that, happens when somebody have a stroke, even if they don't pass, they have these lingering things. Could you talk about that a little bit, Q? I know I'm throwing you on the spot.
Things like, sometimes their face or facial expressions change and their mouth may be twisted. That's something that's visually we see. I have a coworker. He's for the stroke, and he's 8 years ago, and right now to this day, I just saw him today, and he still has a stroke. Something that affects your mental capacities. That you just can't. You're not on the same thinking wavelength anymore. And there are other things that come along with the stroke that can be things that last the rest of your lifetime. You may not actually recover from.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, that's why it's such a blessing that you are what you are right now, Kenny. I mean, I prayed for that, and I count it a blessing, man. Like you said,
Yes,
you were
sir.
blessed. It was. You are blessed. You are blessed because it could have been so different from where you are today, man.
Yeah, that really could have went sideways, and they gave me my discharge papers. The first 6 or 7 papers were like my new regimen, my routine, and the rest of the 30 other pages were effects of strokes and precursors of strokes. And as I read it, I've had some of those symptoms. I had a symptom that Wednesday night, when I left work at about 9:30. I was walking out, and I was like a car out of alignment. I was pulling to the right.
Yep. And like, hold on, you could lose part of your memory. You could lose part of your memory, and that happens. Or even your ability to walk
the whole side of your body could be off.
Physically, your body.
Yeah.
You might lose
It was. I mean, my mouth was way over here.
Yeah.
My wife told me, I was trying to talk. I couldn't collect my thoughts. I knew what I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it. It took me a minute to get it together.
Right.
Wow.
So let me ask you this real quick.
Like
I know this is not
a
on
lot of
there.
those symptoms are long term.
Yes. But real quick, you said something that spawned a thought, and I think it could help a lot of people tonight moving forward. You stated that you read some precursors to strokes. Could you give us some of those precursors? I mean, that may save somebody's life just to make a call earlier.
The biggest ones that got my attention were being like you lose your sense of balance momentarily. Like I said, when I'm walking out Wednesday night, I'm walking straight. I'm going to the door is to the left, and I'm going this way, to the right. And I had to mentally correct myself, like, what's the hell's going on? And that has happened before. Another thing is collecting your thoughts. You may be doing something, you have an assignment. I've caught myself doing this. I'm doing something at work, something that I do every day. And I'm standing there and I'm looking at it like, what the hell am I doing? And then it comes back. This has been on for quite some time.
Kenny, I do want to ask you this: when you were in the ETM and transported to the hospital, and you said you were just trying to do stuff to keep yourself in this present realm, did you ever feel yourself drifting out of body? That you were looking down? Did you experience that at all?
I didn't get that far.
Okay,
I
good.
didn't get that far. I got the peacefulness.
Yeah,
I got the peacefulness in this chaotic situation. All of a sudden, I'm at peace.
Yes,
Kenny, you know what? I believe.
All of a sudden, I'm at peace.
I'm listening to your story, Kenny, and the part where you say you was fighting to just make some noise, so you know that you were still on this realm. I think if you had just drifted off and went to, you know what I mean, drifted, you'd have probably went to that place. Now, God knows, thank God, everything worked out the way it did, but you know, that was that
something. I heard a voice. It was my voice telling me, just go to sleep.
Wow.
This will all be over. And I thought about it. I'm like, man, I don't want to do this anymore.
I got to put some comments up here from your wife, and let's dive into those. She was saying they got him there in time enough to give him medication that he needed to reverse the paralysis part of this. My God. My God. Thank God.
It's called a clot buster. They give it to you, a little bag, and they hit you with it.
And he had, but he had
to within 2 to 4 hours.
Yes. Let me finish this. Yeah, but you have to get there 2 to 4 hours when the symptom starts. Wow. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. A couple other comments real fast. Legend Armand says some of the symptoms are drooling as well for no apparent reason. Joanne says just blessings to you, Kenny.
Thank you, Joanne. Appreciate
Margaret says some of the things as well. We get sounds from our body, but we fail to recognize them. And on that comment, I do want to go back to something Arden said. When you felt bad, you was thinking about going to sleep, but you didn't, and you text or dial 911 because most people won't do that.
Yes, I almost didn't.
Can you talk about that for a second? Because that's for sometimes people say, I might be all right, I'm gonna be, and they don't do nothing. And I've heard of a couple different people that's close to us. Oh, you know what I'm talking about? A couple of things. Some of our co-workers, lost family members from strokes, and they were by themselves, similar to your situation, Kenny. And when somebody came home, they found them, and they was hooked up to a machine. They had to make a decision, a couple of weeks later. You know what I mean? But thanks.
Yeah, the problem is that when you start stroking, there is no possibility of you making any move to save yourself at that point. There's no point of being able to call 911 there. So that's why I was really wondering, what other things that you may have heard or seen that would happen just to get that warning sign. I know you said drooling, equilibrium concerns, loss of thought, kind of not being able to keep a thought. Anything else?
No, for me personally, there are a lot of other things, but for me personally, Arden, those are the two or three main things that I experienced. The loss of equilibrium, and my thought process was like, what am I doing? I do this every day, and I'm standing there like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Right.
Equilibrium thing was I had noticed it after I read. I had noticed it, but I thought about it at night when I walked out of work. I was like really pulling to the right, and they said the clot or whatever was on the right side of my head, and I was like literally like a car out of alignment, pulling to the right, and the boards to the left.
Yeah, Lenny, I noticed you posted some of the experiences of some of the other audience members, like this one from Kyra Snowden, and I'm sure there were some others as well. But it's great that our audience members are sharing their experiences. Kyra said that she had.
Let me put that back up there, Q. Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, she said she had a Kyra Snowden Brown said she had a near-death experience when she fell down in the bedroom and passed out, burst her head wide open. got 11 stitches, and she was scared, and she was scared. So I mean, that happens. This is an occurrence that happens more frequently than we could even imagine, man. To go through these things, and it's just something else, man, to go through.
Absolutely.
It is. And let me touch on before we go. I saw something that Margaret Nick put up about people not paying attention to the warning signs. And I've done that. This is actually my 4th time. 2009. I talked about this on the show. I have a pacemaker. 2009. I'm walking around for 2 weeks. My heart jumping out of my chest. I get to the hospital and they put the pacemaker and everything in. It's like, you didn't get here a week or so more. You might not have been here. Same situation. 2010. I had this crazy viral infection. I went from 270 to 227 like that.
Yeah.
Didn't know what the hell it was. 2016, the same thing. I had your blood level as a man is supposed to be 13%. Mine was 5.5 when I went to the hospital.
Wow.
So pay attention to the warning signs. That's something that I'm definitely going to finally.
Right. Pay attention now.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
As we segue together your personal experience and just the phenomena of near-death experience, I just want to throw some things out for thought to the audience as well as you guys. And Q, you mentioned some of these things that, so did you, Kenny, that there is no pain, and that you're overcome with this overflowing feeling of love and joy. Audience, help me out with these if you know what I'm talking about, and you can comment on them. And that some people actually mention that life feels realer than real life. Let me say that one again. You hear what I'm saying? Some people that have had a near-death experience say that when they are there, wherever there is, that life feels realer than real life itself, and that when they come back, this feels almost like a play or a movie or something to that effect, as to where there it was just the intensity of colors, sounds, feelings, connectivity, and all of those type of things are way, way, way different. And some people,
for sure.
Some people say this. Hold on, I'm gonna get through the list real fast. It feels like it's a place I've been before. I've been here before. It feels like a place I've been not here before, but many times. Talk about some of those things, fellas.
Yeah. Go ahead, Arden, because you're about to make a comment, Arden. Go ahead and make your comment first before we.
No, it was good. I mean, go ahead, y'all can rock it out. Go ahead, Q.
That's so stupid.
They make it lighter. That's funny. Almost need to let. Sometimes humor is the best medicine.
Yeah, I read it on here before you put it up. Okay, Armand.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there are things about this that we still don't understand, Lanny, about the near-death experience. And there, like I said, there are lots of layers to this, and stuff that we may never understand it. But you talked about the spiritual part of this, man. And that's something that we really haven't. We know we could take another hour and delve into that, but is the life after death factor? Is there life after death? Do we go? Is that part of the path that we're being called home? Does that mean we're headed to heaven? What exactly is it? It could be a hell situation. We just don't know enough at this point. We know what some people have told us, and what some people have told us. But there are more layers to this, man. You have to be explored.
Well, if my experience may be totally different from anyone else that's viewing the show right now. My experience may be totally different. There is no carbon copy for any experience.
No. There's not. Like I said that before. I said that previously. That there's, everybody's experience may be different. But go ahead, Natural. You were about to say something. I want you to get your thought in, please. Be good.
No, I mean, we just absolute motion with vibrations.
Yes.
With a spirit having a physical experience.
Yes.
Energy will only transcend, and it's funny because just like we're whole and we're everything and everything is one. I mean, the Rasta said one love, the I and I, but the bottom line is that you are everything, you're energy. And the fact is that's going to flow and it's going to continue to flow. It's almost like things that you know. I mean, we've all had these experiences, I believe, that things that nobody's told you, and you end up saying it, and it's true, and you don't even know how you know. But we can tap into the overall consciousness that's all around us, that's everything. That is the knowledge, that is God, that is. And we are. And you know, a lot of times we put stuff behind I am, but you know, the thing is that I am. And you know, as you are, you know, that energy will change or disperse, but that energy will continue to be here forever. We've been here forever. You know, there's new, you know, it's not a new situation that's going on right here. So, you know, will you be here again? Yes. You know, will you continue to live? Yes. Life, energy, yes, and energy can't be destroyed. So
Yeah. I want to throw a couple comments up. And thanks for you know shedding some light on the subject.
Thank you, bro.
Like something happened to me when I had a pneumonia. Ended up in the hospital for about 3 days. I had gone to the doctor. I probably would have died.
We're talking about
Another
exactly.
comment. I blacked out, seeing black then white. That's what Kyra was saying, and us.
All white.
And then she also said, I was black and then white out. Then it was very quiet as well. So some similarities.
Yes, I
We'll never know enough. Death is not meant for us to understand. It's simply meant to experience. And death
Great
is
comment.
is a continuation of life in another realm. Because I believe the spirit never dies. I do believe that. I just think the spirit it manifests and it comes back in another way. And I think it comes back in. You ever seen some children that you say that's an old soul? You hear that saying,
soul, yeah.
that phrase, an old soul, like, damn, this child been here before. This little girl is off the hook. You know what I mean? I believe some of that goes into that as well. She said, yes, it does. I saw all well, felt like my body was real. It was an amazing experience. I hear that as well, that I felt peace and contentment. That's what Darlene Collins said.
Yeah. Darlene told me she experienced that as well.
Pretty wild. I mean, it's not for us to know. Gregory Harris, I know you was watching. Cheryl,
Thank you, Kyle.
as well. But yeah, I mean, it is all energy, like Arden said.
You know, we're gonna have to delve back into this we're gonna have to go from another perspective, another different direction. But this is a topic that's worth exploring again, no question about it, man.
Before we close, Q, I do want to say this because somebody said this earlier in the show, and I told them we would revisit it. But I watched a bunch of these. And you go on YouTube, you just type in NDE and type in one. It's his brother. He was a gangbanger. He had a near-death experience. And I started watching his video, and about a half hour later, I'm still watching this thing now. 30 minutes of my life I invested in this. And to this guy's story. But the brother went to hell. Wasn't one of them experiences.
Yeah. That's what
that everything where he saw his family and his mother and his elders and this brother went to hell. He said, and it was levels to hell that got more tormenting as he went on. And
wow.
And he was just saying, you know what I mean? They was clowning him and they were just doing things to him. And then they would, you know what I mean? He just said he's seen pits, just, all of these pits, like big circles, endless, you know what I mean? As far as the eye could see, and he could just hear excruciating cries and all kinds of, and the smells was the worst smell you could ever smell to anything you believed in life. And, I mean, it was fascinating as a story to hear. And I just encourage you all, now I ain't here to preach to you, but you know what I mean? It's something to be thinking about. Because I do believe nobody really wants to go to hell. I believe the worst person in life, you know what I mean? I always say the most hardened criminal, the most evil person in the world got family and stuff that they love too, though. You know what I mean? So definitely think about that hell side of things, because that brother says the worst day and the worst experience that he ever had in physical life here, he was begging for that shit on that experience when he was in hell. Yeah, I would have took that any day. And he said he felt like he was there 1,000 years. And they told him that he was only out like a half hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like time. You know, time is in that different realm. Time changes as well.
And then like
That
said,
ambulance,
that's the
like I
one
said,
she
that
saw.
ambulance ride was barely 10 minutes and it felt like an hour.
Yeah.
I was in there making life decisions in the back of an ambulance.
Hey, so man, I just want y'all to join the side of peace and love, man, and push the man so we can see that light, baby. No doubt.
Good comments that I wanted to hit before we get off. Midlight Simon said, I'm a person believe in reincarnation, the energy spirit, which is why we have those old souls and children.
Amen. I agree with her. I definitely agree with her.
Makes you think about all you do every day, and it will send you to the depths of hell. The guy said when he was in hell, another thing he said he knew why he was there too when he was there. He was like, when he thought about it. He said, I think Midlight Simba seen this same YouTube video. He said, I know why I was there, because I was a gangbanger and I was hardcore and I was all that. And he said, when he saw different people being tormented by the demons, he said one lady was there. She was a sex addict or sex fiend or something in life, because men was just going all up. I don't mean to be graphic, but she was going through the sins that she committed, and she was being tormented with those endlessly over and over in all kinds of nasty, perverted ways and all that type of stuff. And another person that, was sinful in another way, that was their punishment, the sins that they committed on earth, you know what I mean? The forgiveness that they didn't give to, or whatever it was, you know what I mean? Very, very, very extremely interesting information. Anyway, brothers, let's get up out of here. We want to tell y'all to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, sir.
Arden, why don't you talk about that a little bit, Arden, while I get to the closing screens here.
Oh, definitely subscribe right underneath. It's down here somewhere right there. Hit that subscribe button. Then there's a bell. You'll see the little bell. I want you to hit that bell and, tell them to reach out anytime we jump on. You can be a part of the show. We appreciate your comments, your presence, and also we want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms coming up this Sunday. And I'll say Happy Mother's Day every day, because it should be your day every day. Love you all. God bless you. There's first teachers, first preachers, first cooks, first everything. There's the moms.
Kyra wants a redo on it. Not a redo, but
Kyra, I agree with you.
She wants a deeper discussion on this. I mean, look, Night Brothers, we're going to touch subjects. That's what we do. We're going to touch some subjects. And
we have other things coming, other subjects we're going to be touching on too that may be a little bit different, but it's going to be thought-provoking is what it will be.
Kyra also believes, she agrees that the soul never dies. I really do believe that.
I want to thank everybody who checked in with us tonight. Miss Dupree, thank you so much.
Yes, indeed.
Checking in with us. Thank you,
Mr. Turner. Thank you.
Cheryl gave you the peace and love, Arden.
Peace and love. That's what I'm saying. That's what we pushing. You know what I mean? No holes for us. Hey, what?
Thank everybody.
Thanks for sharing with us tonight.
For joining us tonight.
Thank you for sharing your story, Kenny. We thank you, brother, for being transparent and sharing your story, man. And you know what? By sharing your story, you may have saved someone else's life, man.
Yes. Watch the signs. I thank each and every one of you for your thoughts and prayers. Thank y'all for joining tonight. We'll be back. I'm going to be in good health as I start my therapy. My wife is home with me for the next few weeks, so I'll be okay. But I thank each and every one of you for your thoughts and prayers, and I'll see you next week.
Armand says, stay away from the Cowboys and Lakers. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I saw that, Armand. I'm going to call you. We'll talk about that later, Armand. We'll call you in a minute.
We have another good one for you. Hope to see you guys next week, and continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell, like Arden said. And
thank you, Kyra. Kyra said she's going to send us a donation. Thank you. And Cheryl, you've been so gracious with your donations. I really do appreciate it. It does cost money to put this on, but we're not in it. We're not in it to get paid. It would be nice to cover the expenses, but we're not. That's part of the because look, it's about having dialogue and about building relationships and trying to enhance the quality of each other's lives. I really believe that, this time spent on these Tuesday nights enhances the quality of my life. What say you, brothers?
Absolutely.
Just to dial up a little.
This is the place where I found that, like, when you gain weight, your tongue gets fat, and you can start snoring because you gain weight, and you could, it's just different things like that. Who knew that? I mean, it's some Knight Brothers stuff up there, man.
Right.
Y'all know that, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tell them that. Bring them on.
Go keep it up. Man, appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
If you like the content, drop a 1 in the chat group. Join in. Thank you, Armand. Legends of the Past and Future. Join his show tomorrow night. The brother always brings some great quality and doing a bang up, awesome job there on Wednesday nights. We call it the 1-2 punch. Armand said we throw the setup punch, and then he throws the uppercut. Whatever. However he said it last week, but we the 1-2 punch. But drop a 1 in the track group if you like this type of content. And if for no other reason, just to be thankful that our brother that's got the funny looking hat on right here is still with us. He's still with us. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. I appreciate it, brothers. Glad to be here with y'all, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, thank y'all. I'm just trying to get everybody's comment before we go. Kenny, give you the last words because it was about you, brother. We love you, man. I ain't afraid to sell that to another man, especially in a situation like this, brother. Thank God you're still here.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, brother. When wifey reached out to y'all, because I was, going through what I was going through, and I appreciate all the feedback from y'all, and I appreciate all the feedback from everybody tonight on the show. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to be here. Pay attention to your health. Pay attention to warning signs. Read. If you feel crazy, read. Call your doctor. Do whatever you got to do. Because this life is not promised to you. A lot of these things come up out of nowhere. Nowhere. So, but I thank each and every one of y'all for all your thoughts and prayers. I love y'all, and see you next week.
All right.
All right. All right, y'all. Peace out, everybody. Peace out.
Peace and love.
All right. All right, y'all. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Radiant, you got the last comment. How fitting is that? All right. Love y'all.